Hello everyone. So we are going to start with our next lecture, that is Introduction to Neural Network. Earlier we had a talk regarding the soft computing, that is what is the difference between soft computing and hard computing, what are the applications of soft computing and hard computing. Now, defining the certain technologies of soft computing, you see there are three technologies that forms the core of soft computing. The three methodologies it's being used for the combination for the solution of human intelligence. So soft computing uses a combination of technologies which results in solutions close to human intelligence when the input is not always accurate and complete. So the three technologies we will be using are artificial neural network, fuzzy logic, and evolutionary algorithm. Basically, evolutionary algorithm has further breakdown and there are more technologies, but in this course, we are going to study the genetic algorithm technology. So these three technologies are forming the core of soft computing and they are helping us to find out the solution that is close to human intelligence. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence, so the first thing is artificial neural network. Now, basically, I'm using the short form for artificial neural network, that is ANN. Basically, when I say ANN, what is artificial neural network? It is a network which is based on the working of human intelligence. Now, it is going to mimic the human intelligence. So there are so many technologies which are going to mimic the human intelligence, but from which process it is being inspired. So naturally, the human brain is there that is considered to be the intelligent part of the human being. So it is inspired. This neural network is inspired by the human brain. So basically, human brain is a network of neurons, and we are also going to create an artificial neural network which is also forming a network of certain elements, or we would say that they will be forming the combination of neurons which are artificial, which are not natural. So I can say in a way that human brain is a network of neurons, while artificial neural network is a network of artificial neurons, right? So artificial neuron is a computational model which is inspired by the biological neural networks. And when I say biological neural network, it is being considered as the human brain, because these are the neurons which are being highly interconnected and they are forming the network and forming the brain. So in this process of human brain, the information is being processed. Now, a written definition that is being defined by a scientist who is known as Dr. Robert Nelson, and he is the one who invented the first neural network computer. So he gave a definition, which is a very simple definition in terms of artificial neural network. He says that it is a computing system made up of a number of simple, highly interconnected processing elements which process information by their dynamic state response to external inputs. Now, what is this actually? This is actually basically when I say a neural network, there are highly interconnection of neurons which are either artificial or biological. When I consider it biological, it is human brain, and when I consider artificial, I'm talking about the artificial neural network. So certain input is being given and the computing is being done on these particular highly interconnected processing elements जो कि हमारी process करेंगी information को, and they are going to give you output on the basis of their dynamic state, not on the static state. So the response will be highly intelligent. So this is the basic definition of artificial neural network. Now, the question arises that what are the goals of artificial neural network? That means why we are studying this particular neural network. So the basic aim behind this artificial neural network is we are going to study the mechanism of our brain, that how this particular brain is taking certain input and giving us an output that is being defined on the basis of so many characteristics of human brain, such as generalization, learning through experience, learning through examples. And so we are going to imitate this brain and create the solutions which are close to human intelligence. So this neural network is made up of neurons and synapses. This we are going to do in detail in the next lecture. So I'm not just focusing on this particular part. Second aim. So the second aim of this neural network, artificial neural network, is we are going to train this neural network so that it can use its characteristic of generalization. When I say generalization, generalization can be defined in terms of classification. That means if I say there is a, there is a crowd or population which is being discriminated on the basis of, age group, maybe that is the kids, the people who are around 20 to 40 years of age, and people who are above 40 to 50 years of age, and then we have old age, that is above 50. So this is kind of generalization. Next thing, it should behave correctly on new instances of learning tasks. That means it learns from its experiences and examples which are given to it, and it creates an algorithm on the basis of which it will give the output. We'll just slowly and gradually move on, and then we are going to get the understanding of this specific term, because this is not a simple term which can easily understood by just one or two slides. So neural network consists of number of simple elements. When I say simple elements, I mean to say, and I am talking about the neurons. These are connected between them in a system. The whole system is able to solve complex tasks and learn for it like a natural brain. So I've already talked about these two terms. That is, this neural network is a collection of simple elements or processing elements or neurons which are artificial, and they are being highly interconnected to each other, and they are forming a system. First point. Second point, why we are using this? This is being used to solve our complex problems or real life problems on which hard computing is being failed, and human intelligence is needed on this. So to create that solution for a complex task, we are going to mimic the natural brain, and we are going to learn the processing. Third point, it says, for user, neural network is black box with input vector source data and output vector as result. So I'm considering what whenever there is a system, there is an input, some processing is being done, and we get an output. So I am saying that neural network is considered as a black box. I am not able to find out what processing is being done actually, and certain input is given and the output is taken. So that particular output is the result. Simply as if I say, when we talk about the brain, some input is taken by maybe skin through any sensations, sense organs, and it takes the input, it does some processing, and we react according to the same thing. That is, let's take an example. If you touch a hot surface, our skin touches the hot surface, the signals are being sent directly to the brain. That is considered as the input data, and some processing is done, and the result is we give a reaction on which we take out our hand immediately, remove our hand immediately. So that is the output vector, that is the result. That is done through human intelligence only. Next point, I consider it as, it is a machine learning approach that models human brain and consists of a number of artificial neurons. So one more thing, that is, now we have understood that this is a highly interconnected uh, connection of artificial neurons. But what approach we are using behind this is machine learning. We all have heard about this term a lot, machine learning we are talking. So machine learning is basically what, through brain, the human is learning through brain. but we are learning through this particular machine learning algorithms. We are learning through algorithms. The algorithms are created on its own, and then they work for the same scenarios, for the same problem, and then they create the or give you the solution or results. Next, we have many variants of neural networks based on how neurons are connected. Now, we have number of architectures of different types of neural network architectures that depends on how the neurons are being connected to each other. That we will study in further lectures that we will be explaining in those particular topic. Next, we employ a neural network as a black box. When I say black box means that it is not transparent. We are not clear, or the person is not clear exactly what processing is being done. When we are going to learn the neural network, we will learn the architecture in which we have a hidden layer. When we say hidden layer gives you the technique. It doesn't define what processing is being done, and it just gives you the output. So that is what we are saying, that neural network as a black box which has a number of inputs and outputs. It can just show the inputs and the output, and the processing is being done which is considered in a hidden layer. So the task is to classify the objects. Now, when I say artificial neural network, I hope up till now you must have gotten a basic idea of what is artificial neural network. Now, neural network is being defined on three things. That is, first is neuron model, which model it follows. Second thing, the architecture, and third thing is the learning algorithm. So these three combination are forming the actual artificial neural network. The neuron model is, it defines the information unit, information processing unit of neural network. That means how these particular neurons are defined, how the information is being processed in this unit. Next, when we say architecture, architecture means that is when we say neurons are being, there are a number of neurons which are being highly interconnected, or they are being linked together. So whenever there are two neurons, and those two neurons are being connected with a link which has a specific weight. You can see here a set of neurons and links connecting neurons. Each link has a weight. So that forms the architecture. Again, we are going to learn it in detail. Next, learning algorithm. Why we are using learning algorithm? It is used for training the neural network by modifying the weights in order to model a particular learning task correctly on the training example. That says, that is, once we are going to give the rules to the network, we will say that this is the problem, these are the rules we have to follow, and this is going to be the output. So once it is going to work on this task, it will learn and it will memorize these particular rules, and it will generalize these rules for a specific type of problem. It will say that whenever there is a problem which is of same type, it will use the same learning rules, and this particular training is being done in the learning algorithm to solve a particular type of task. Now, when I say a neural network, there are certain applications in which we are using this neural network, and there are a lot of sectors in which this particular neural network is being used today. Recognition of images, it can be visual, speech, and so on. Prediction of situations, cost of actions, currencies. When I say prediction of, recognition of images, recognition of images can be used in, criminal theft and all crime scenes, where these particular criminals are being defined with the images, and they are being find out that they are the same person or not. Prediction of situations, it can be of stock exchange, whether one should invest in this particular type of share or not. Currencies, weather predictions are also considered in this. So these type of prediction situations we are using neural network. Third thing, that is classification and clusterization of images. Basically, this is the form which is used in medical purposes, more of it. And neural network has given a broader scope of giving the right diagnostic in the medical science. Now, these are the certain examples which I have given you the applications. But if I give you certain specific examples, I've taken 3 examples, in which first example is the recognition of handwriting. You know, the handwritten characters are being set with the pixel values, and they are being input. And on the basis of these input values, pixel values, we recognize whether the handwriting is same or not. Second thing, you must have seen that those vending machines, let's say it can be a Coke machine, or in which you get certain things like coffee, tea, and so many things. If you just insert the coin, it will, how it is going to define that it has taken or it has been inserted with 2 rupees coins or whatever it is. So that will be based on certain feature of the coin. It can be like weight of the coin, diameter of the coin, and these are certain input parameters which are taken, and the match is being done between the coins, and it just defines that this much coins has been inserted in the machine. So this is next example. If I say third example, it can be like identifying in defense, identifying a jet fighter as enemies. It is, the input is taken as by the set of data through radar images. So that is again a very important sector where this neural network is being used. Well, now if I just conclude all the things, I would say that artificial neural network, what it is a machine learning approach. It models or it mimics human brain or human intelligence, and it consists of number of artificial neurons, right? Then when I say neurons in ANN, it tend to have fewer connections than biological neurons. Basically, the human brain is a is a very highly interconnected connection of neurons. But when I talk about ANN, that is artificial neural networks, there are fewer connections in the artificial neural network neurons as compared to the biological brains, because we are just mimicking it. We do not have the same tendency and same capacity of working as the human brain, but we are just trying to mimic it. Next, each neuron in ANN receives a number of inputs, and it gives a certain output. So each neuron has specific number of inputs which are being received, and output is giving in the next layer. Last thing is, knowledge about the learning task is given in the form of examples called training examples. Why we are calling it training examples, I already told you that what we are giving certain input problem, and we are giving a set of guidelines or set of rules on the basis of which we are going to, the neural network is going to solve the problem and give the result. So if ever the same type of example problem is given to it, it will learn through this training set of data, and it will give the result. And these particular algorithms are the algorithms which are dynamic in nature. I mean to say that as we are going to execute it again and again, they are going to become smarter uh, in terms of time. Today it is working in a way where it is giving a result which is not that efficient, but next time it will learn from its mistakes and it will become better on its own. So this is the basic technique which is being used in the artificial neural network, and which is more specific and close to the human intelligence, where the human learn from examples or through experience and learn from its mistakes and give a better solution. So, well, thank you, and just wait for my next lecture. Thank you.